Good day everyone. Today, I'm going to tell you about my globalization story, but first, let's talk about globalization. We'll begin by defining globalization, its causes and effects, as well as its advantages and disadvantages. Globalization, in my opinion, is the unity of countries all over the world in allowing products and services to freely circulate inside their borders. Globalization is a term that refers to the developments that connect individuals, businesses, and nations together. It is the flow of information, goods, services, and capital between global societies. Local or national practices spread and become global in this manner. Globalization can encompass economics and trade, as well as technology, politics, and culture. One of the good benefits of globalization is that it allows countries to assist one another, particularly during disasters. They can send money, equipment, and other gear. Trade with foreign countries can also be done at a low cost. Here are some of the causes of globalization in our life and in our surroundings. First, it improved transportation, it improved communication, it increased job opportunities, and we all know this is very helpful to all of us. It also caused higher economic growth, and it improved technology that make our daily life is easier and faster. And here are some of the effects of globalization in our life. Even if it's good or bad, it's still part of the effects of globalization. First is unemployment, and one example of it is some branches of Jollibee in the Philippines have already installed gadget machines where you can order. They have also reduced employees. Owners are starting to replace their employees with machines, where there are no complaints, no salary increase, no demands, no day offs, no personal issues. Next is cultural impact. Some Filipino are now more likely to wear Korean shirts. Increased global competition, exhaustion of natural resources. It promotes international trade and growth of wealth. And lastly, it promotes terrorism and criminal activities. In this section is some of the advantages of globalization. First, it promotes world peace. It allows people to better understand the cultures of other countries, low cost of different products, provide better services to people, and it allows developing countries to create jobs in their domestic economies. The disadvantages of globalization are the following: trade imbalance, inequality, and small businesses have a tougher time establishing themselves. My globalization story. My globalization story is all about watching anime. My globalization story is all about watching anime, because it shows and they share their cultures, language, foods, and traditions to all of us, and not only in our country but in all of the world, except North Korea, of course. One of the reasons anime is a form of globalization is because of their samurai culture. You will undoubtedly be encouraged to have it or adopt it, just as they do when they fight when you are watching anime, and who wouldn't be amazed to use it with their own hands. It is stunning and fascinating to possess. Although it is prohibited because it is still harmful, it is nevertheless desirable to obtain because it is one of the most popularly used weapons on the world. Japanese is an East Asian language spoken by about 128 million people, primarily in Japan, where it is the national language. Japanese is considered one of the most difficult languages to learn. It has a different writing system than English, a completely different grammar structure, and relies heavily on cultural context and understanding. And, let's admit it, we're all hooked with using it since it's lovely and good to listen to, and, of course, it's excellent to pronounce. Even our CIPRA teacher, Ma'am Mrs. Glisten Faith Pascua, uses it to communicate with us sometimes. Japanese food offers a wide assortment of regional and seasonal cuisines. Japanese food encompasses the country's regional and traditional cuisines, which have evolved over centuries of political, economic, and social change in Japan. Different cultures are exposed to each other as a result of globalization. Things will alter as information becomes more readily available. This is especially true when it comes to contemporary Japanese food. Curry rice, pork cutlet, sushi, ramen, tempura, and croquette are just a few examples of less common Japanese dishes that the Filipinos have adopted. The Japanese also influenced the Filipinos through the use of udon or odong noodles, miso, and the use of vetsun, specifically the Ajinomoto brand. It is undeniable that Japanese food is delicious, and we all accepted it, and we are still doing or using it in the present and hopefully in the future. For a long time, Japanese culture has served as a source of inspiration. Traditional yet modern culture has become a trend in both Eastern and Western countries, especially in terms of dress. One of them is cosplay, a prominent Japanese culture that has influenced people all over the world, including in our own country, the Philippines. One of the reasons why individuals cosplaying is to show off their skills and attitudes by adopting the personality of the anime they are cosplaying. And that's conclude my globalization story. Thank you for watching and listening.